Blessed love, so give thanks for your presence, man. Yeah, it's a joy that you're here with us in the Tiger's Nest. We have a mighty presentation for you this evening. Let me just let you know for sure this is a collaboration with the Shock of the Hour. And to the Shock of the Hour subscribers, this is a collaboration with the internet, specifically Facebook and YouTube. Yes, tonight we'll be talking Haile Selassie and the Halloween. And before I go too far, because I know some of the fundamentalists and the extremists will be already jumping up and saying, "Oh, what you're trying to say? You can't mix the king up with Halloween." For sure, I ain't mixing the king up with nothing. You better believe that. In fact, I mean, I know they're there, but for sure, certain people, I could understand how you feel, because maybe if I saw a book entitled Haile Selassie and Halloween, I myself would be very critical, especially if I didn't even know who the author was. But this is me, man. This is Priest Isaac, brother. I mean, you see me put something on the board, there got to be a link. There got to be something to hear. So if I was you, I would just sit back and relax and let the pilot take full control. Yeah, we have it covered. So before we go into the midst of that, let me just remind you that it's this Sunday. This Sunday, remember, we are having the wonderful presentation. It's only going to be an hour. It's the Astronomy, African History, and Heritage Homeschool, International Homeschool presentation. Yeah, basically the motto for this is bring the children and come. Don't just come by yourself, bring the children and come. Remember, this whole event is going to be totally free. There's no admission whatsoever. The only thing you got to do is to contact us via email, precise27@gmail.com, and show your interest. You want to be a part of the international homeschool program. Is going to be again this Sunday, the 25th of October. When I say this Sunday, Sunday the 25th day of October, specifically 3 p.m. And I mean, we're going to have a wonderful time for sure. Myself, the Honorable Princess Akisha Menin, the Honorable Prince Almase, for sure we'll be going through the depths of space. We'll be looking at all of our, well, not all, but a lot of our African heroes, our African monuments. We're going to have a nice time. Just believe me. And if I was you, I would take the children. It's a Sunday afternoon, put them on the big couch, get the computer ready, hook it up to the smart TV, get your surround sound, and join us for the hour, and we will have a wonderful time. Believe me, something that they will look forward to again and again and again, and we intend to do it again and again and again. So that's this Sunday. Remember, the admission is only, well, it's free. You just come on in and just have a wonderful time. As I said, bring the youths and come. But remember, at the same time, we are highlighting the next Sunday, which, to be honest, we're going somewhere close to that tonight. We're talking about the 1st of November. Keep that date in mind, because that is similar to what we are talking about right now. Yes, the 1st of November, 2020, the 1st of November 2020, we will be doing another dynamic grand lecture. The previous lecture was the Rastafari and the Cosmos, just about a month ago. Rastafari and the Cosmos. It was a very wonderful presentation. I must say, up to now, people are still contacting me and saying, man, that was such a nice presentation, X, Y, Z, A, B, C, and we're very thankful for that. But this is going to be another, gigantic affair, because it's not just a lecture, it's not just a presentation, it's basically a lecture class. So this is Sunday, the 1st of November now. That is 7 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time. Just to be clear, it's not a YouTube presentation, it's going to be live. But it's not on YouTube, it's not a Facebook presentation, it's not a Zoom presentation either. Yes, we'll be utilizing a specific webinar platform that we think, is quite, conducive to the type of presentation that we want to bring to you, a proper PowerPoint presentation. As I said, not just a lecture, but a lecture class. So, you're not just leaving motivated, but you're going to be leaving well informed. So definitely look forward to that. And we'll be talking about the womb, man. As I said, we've been touching some subjects directly dealing with the womb, man. And that is just to get, those who are definitely followers of the works that we do prepared for that dynamic lecture. And to be honest, I could call this one Rastafari and the Cosmos Part 2. Because as you could see here, you could see the galaxy there. That's the cosmos. So we will be going into some galactical talk as we talk about Rastafari and the womb, man. And of course, you know, we did a program just a few days ago directly dealing with the uterus and the cycle of the woman. You could obviously see the connection here with the Ankh. You don't even have to explain that. You know, it's already there, the key of life. But of course, we'll be giving you a little more geometric dimensions as we go into that subject. You're going to really full joy this Sunday. I mean, Sunday, the 1st of November. Sunday, the 1st of November, which is really the eve, if you want to say, to the 2nd of November, which is the 90th. That's a very mystic number we're stepping on here. 90 years since the coronation of Haile Selassie I, or God and King, Empress Menen, Mother of Creation. See what's going on here? It's not just the coronation of Haile Selassie, coronation of Haile Selassie, Empress Menen. So that's going to be a part of the whole discussion. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Of course, you know, the $10 special has passed, but of course, we still have space available. The admission is only $20 United States currency. The best way for you to make the payment is via the Cash App. There's no PayPal available for the moment. We will be definitely bringing a brand new PayPal on stream. You can look forward to that. But for now, there's no PayPal available. It is the Cash App. Atonra, ATON 2723. That's the Cash App, ATONRA 2723. Don't forget the Ra, Aton Ra 2723. And of course, if you have any difficulty dealing with the Cash App, depending on where you may be on the planet, all you have to do is contact us at priestisaac27@gmail.com. And we will definitely give you more information of how you could definitely do that. Remember, when you send that Cash App, please, very important that you also email us, although we will get the record, obviously, but we still want to have that correspondence with you. And remember, it is through your Gmail, or your email specifically, I should say, that we will be sending you the link, so that on Sunday, the 1st of November, you could come into the classroom. It's going to be a wonderful session. And let me just remind you too, just for your knowledge, that once you are a member of the Shock of the Hour radio program subscription team, this is a special Shock of the Hour you're getting here. The Shock of the Hour is not a video program, it's an audio program, but from time to time we do a little link and just export it to the international community. But the Shock of the Hour is a program that comes to you every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's an audio radio prepared program that has been played all over the world, different radio stations right here in Antigua and other places. So it's exported as well. So we have our subscribers to the Shock of the Hour who get their specific special copy of the Shock of the Hour every evening after the Shock of the Hour. So you could be a member of the Shock of the Hour subscription team as well. You could be a monthly subscriber. You could be a 6-month subscriber, or you could be a yearly subscriber. I mean, trust me, if you love what's going on here on the YouTube and on the Facebook and wherever else, sometimes it's touched on the different Instagrams and all of that, well, you'll definitely love what is taking place in the Shock of the Hour itself. Every evening you get in the program and you sit back and box up and relax up and get your vibes on. So once you are a member of the Shock of the Hour, for sure, definitely you know that you don't have to pay for coming into the lecture hall at all. Any lecture we do, any book we write, any video that comes out, once you are a member of the Shock of the Hour, you don't even have to ask twice. It's coming straight to you. That's one of the privileges we have once you are a member of the Shock of the Hour. And that is only a $50 per month, and all of these different goodies. The program itself, that's the worth of the program, plus I think the program is a little more than that, plus anything else that comes. So if you become a member of the Shock of the Hour team before the 1st of November, plus in addition, I should say, to all of the programs you'll be getting, you'll also get your ticket to come straight into the lecture hall. I think that's a better offer, but it's up to you. You got to know where you are at this time. But whatever it is, we're looking forward to you, your presence with us again, the 1st of November. And what we will be going into tonight will be leading us somewhere there, you know, the 1st of November. Interesting evening that we chose to do this lecture going into the coronation. So yeah, I know a lot of ones are asking, you know, I'm talking about the Rastafari and the Halloween. Well, no, it's basically Haile Selassie and Halloween. I think that's what we entitled the one tonight. So, you know, just do your brother a favor there. Just give me 1 second. Let me just make sure I have everything in order, and we will get into the reasoning right now. Give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life. In all good doings and saying, Emperor Haile Selassie first. Of course, as I said, we're looking at the 90th anniversary of the coronation of Emperor Haile Selassie first. Brother Charles Finch, who spoke as it relates to the coronation itself of Haile Selassie, somewhat connected the coronation with the coming in of the new age. Again, in our previous online lecture, which was Rastafari and the Cosmos, I think we basically grand finale with that point. Remember, we went up into the heavens. Well, those who were there, we went up into the heavens, and we saw, you could actually see how in the next, few hundred years, the constellation of Kephas will be going into the northern celestial pole, where Polaris is right now. And, that is something that we will cover again in the future, because it's something that we need to comprehend quite well. So that was a very key point Brother Charles Finch was speaking of. Is one of the few outside of Rastafari that we hear taking Rastafari itself to a cosmic level, specifically highlighting Haile Selassie the First. And of course, that cosmic aspect of Haile Selassie is very important, because that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And even for the shock of the hour subscribers, we touched upon this a few programs back there, but we're going to do it on the next level even tonight. And as it relates to that whole cosmic aspect, Brother Cypher Selassie, of course, we did a program with Brother Cypher Selassie, those who saw that program, and we will be doing another part towards that. I would believe that we do several programs going into the future, because I could tell you there's more that the brother has as it relates to that cosmic aspect of the Negus. And I think in the very, very near future, we will hope to touch upon some more as it relates to that. All right. You could see this whole vibration. Haile Selassie the First. There's that picture of Haile Selassie the First standing with Menelik the Second, the young king. And the interesting vibration here is that, Haile Selassie at the age of 13 was given the title the Deshamash. And the Deshamash, or the Deshmak, as some pronounce it, is said to be the keeper of the door. He received that title on the same day we're doing that lecture, the 1st of November. In Antigua, that is considered Independence Day. I think this year it will be, if I'm not mistaken, the 39th anniversary of the independence of Antigua and Barbuda, getting political independence from Queen Elizabeth II. Well, from Britain, I should say. 81 years from Queen Elizabeth II. Yeah, although the ministers still swear to uphold, and they pay allegiance to Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and her successors, after you cast your vote, and they go on. But anyway, so basically the title Deshma Haile Selassie, 1905, he was 13 years of age when he received that title. Okay, I want to return to all of that, but let's go into the Halloween stuff. And then we will just dovetail around there again and see exactly what kind of link this could be. I'm going to read something here for you. It's taken from livescience.com, and it will be basically livescience.com going into the history of Halloween. And we're just going to be using this so we could give you something, if you want to call it semi-official, on the subject area. Now it says here, bam, 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 bam. Good. Parents and kids alike are gearing up for Halloween, scrambling to put the final touches on costumes, jack-o'-lanterns, not to mention stocking up on candy and tricks or treaters, or for tricks or treaters. But before you rush out on October 31st, for what some consider the spookiest day of the year, here's a look back at the origins of Halloween, all of its odd traditions. Okay, now basically we're going to be going into, the conventional understanding of it, basically. There's some videos you could find on the internet, some short videos that give you a good rundown on the history and what it has morphed into. There may be a few differences between, one or two of them, but the story is basically the same. Halloween, also known as Hallows Eve, can be traced back to about 2,000 years to a pre-Christian Celtic festival held around November 1st, called Samhain, loosely translate the summer's end. According to the Indo-European etymological dictionaries. Because ancient records, I remember they teach in school, you can't begin a sentence with because. Anyway, that's a different subject. Because ancient records are sparse and fragmentary, the exact nature of Samhain is not fully understood, but it was an annual communal meeting at the end of the harvest time, a time to gather resources for the winter months and bring animals back from the pastures. Samhain, it's spelled actually Samhain, Samahin, but it's really pronounced Samhain, just for your knowledge.
It's also pronounced as Samhain.
Okay, well, give thanks. Samhain is also thought to have been a time of communing with the dead, according to folklorish Johnson and Santino. I guess this is John talking here now. There was a belief that it was a day when spirits of the dead would cross over into the other world. So that's the science of the day. Eh? The Samhain. How you say they pronounce it too? Samhain. Samhain. Okay. Yeah. So he's saying here there was a belief, there was a belief that in that day, when that's the day when the spirits of the dead would cross over into the other world. You understand? Santino told Live Science. Such moments, pardon me, such moments, something is wrong here with my bam, bam, bam. Just give me a second here. Such moments of transition in the year have always been thought to be special and supernatural, he added. Halloween provides a safe way to play with the concept of death, Santino said. People just hear that. Halloween provides a safe way, I'm telling you. Halloween provides a safe way to play with the concept of death. Santino said, people dress up as the living dead and fake great gravestones adorn front lawns. Activities that wouldn't be tolerated at other times of the year, he said. But according to Nicholas Rogers, a history professor at York University in Toronto, an author of Halloween, From Pagan Ritual to Party Night, you get it? Halloween, From Pagan Ritual to Party Night, Oxford University Press, 2003. There is no hard evidence that Samhain was specifically devoted to the dead or to ancestor worship. According to the ancient sagas, Samhain was the time when tribal people paid tribute to their conquerors And when the ancient mounds known as the Sid might reveal the magnificent palaces of the gods of the underworld. Now, I mean, same kind of vibe, same ancestor, same spiritual vibes, any which way he turned it. Rogers wrote, Samhain was less about death or evil. Interesting point. Samhain was less about death or evil. Interesting point. Samhain was less about death or evil than about the changing of the seasons and preparing for the dormancy and rebirth of nature as summer turned into winter, he said. And why I'm stressing that, because although he's, he's saying, well, he's not really bigging up that it's directly connected to, the worshiping of the dead. But yes, they did, see the magnificent palaces of the gods of the underworld. Well, just depending on the language that you use, but you're dealing with spirits, obviously. But anyway, though a direct connection between Halloween and Samhain has never been proven, this is said here, many scholars believe that because All Saints' Day or All Hallows Mass celebrated on the 1st of November and Samhain are so close together on the calendar that they influenced each other and later combined into the celebration now called Halloween. And okay, so really, what happened? The Roman Church took on that same celebration. They do that all the time, just like the Sol Invictus, and they took on the tradition of the All Souls Day. That's what that day is, eh? The 1st of November. Let me just make this clear here. The 1st of November. This ain't got nothing to do with Halloween. The 1st of November is All Souls Day. If Ras Iral in Barbados is watching this, and even if I know he would get a wind of it, I know, what I mean, someone will see it and would testify of what I'm saying, because he can testify. It is at his gates. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was there too as a little baby. Yeah, at Iral Gates and his empress who had passed on from such time. Give thanks that Jah be praised. But yeah, it is him and his empress get plenty coconut water that day. And what? The reasoning was about that 1st of November spirit. And the brother, although I can't remember everything, the brother and his empress was speaking of some spiritual experiences that they would have had, and the connection of it around that 1st of November. I'm saying it to the world. And I know the brethren could testify, and even maybe clear it up a bit. So outside of him, man, you would always hear the old people talk about All Souls Day, which just happened to become the independence of the gateway, really, the portal. Is a spiritual, the whole Green Castle Hill you hear us speak about all the time. Do you have a copy of the book Anu, Ancient and Modern? You know what I mean? That's why sometimes we have to stop and explain things. All these things are covered. You get a good understanding, of what's going on. Anu, Ancient and Modern, the book that goes into the spirit of Anu, the modern day Heliopolis, according to the mystics. Ain't no blowing trumpet and no patriotism here. This is just reality that we push in. You know what I mean? You don't know how you go Africa for the Africans, but I'm just showing you the signs of what really going on in righteousness and of salvation. So since we rule the world, there's a portal. The portal is here, and that can be proven, which we have proven in the book Anu, Ancient and Modern, which speaks of the spirit of Green Castle Hill and the gateway, the Stargate. That's the term I was trying to find in my heavens there. The Stargate, experience that is taking place. So even within the realms of all of that, we understand. So that's the Independence Day of Antigua, 1st of November. But the interesting vibes on the day is that it is a day that they consider, please listen to me, bro. They consider that that day, the 1st of November, is the day when the portals are open, you know, and there is this gateway that opens between life and death, and spirits ascend and spirits descend. As I said earlier, there are many different short documentaries that have been done by, the name brands, the history channels, the discovery channels. You can find them on the internet. You could read information like what I'm reading, and basically everybody says the same thing. It's not really that strong of a conflicting story. So the point is, these Celtic people, 2,000 plus years ago, would see this day, the 1st of November, not just the 31st of October. Let's not lose track here. Remember, the evening comes before the morning. That's very key, very important. Evening comes before the morning. So that is why, you would see that the day, whatever day you're dealing with, you got to start the day from the night. Because when the sun set, the day really begin officially. You see it. So the All Souls Day, really, the same Samhain, was a day that somehow cosmically, there's some cosmic movements. And if you recall, I'm not going to do that in this program, but if you would recall that previous year, last year, when we were talking about the coronation, or was it the year before? But anyway, we used the sky heavens map and showed you what sort of alignment was taking place when the emperor was crowning. As the planets were just like lined up and everything in order. You saw it still. The video is still there on the YouTube. You could just go back and check it. So basically, the day itself has its natural alignment within sun and constellation, and of course, taking in consideration the natural, precession of the equinox and the sun moving 1 degree every 72 years. All things taken into consideration. But there's alignments. There's something taking place wherein there's certain energy fields that are open. This ain't no spooky vibes, eh? This is real. Some of us forget that, as I always say, I do not have a soul. Some people flipping and never hear that. Like, wow, what kind of craziness? Yeah, I don't have a soul. I am a soul. I am the soul is you. Your soul is you. I mean, your flesh is you too. Even your spirit is you, but your soul is you. You change the flesh every now and again. You have a flesh. You have a body, as they call it, an anatomy. You have a goodie. That's what you have. You don't have a soul like you. This is you and you have a soul. No, the soul is you and you have a physical body. And if you could think like that, that alone, just that thought alone carries you on the next level. Like, wow, that's what's going on here. So you understand that this realm that you're in is just one aspect of you. Not half of you, just one aspect. You have many different aspects. As I was telling a loved one this day, that when you really check the vibration, it is like an octopus. And with 8 tentacles, and this experience that we call this here that you look in the mirror is just but one of the tentacles. There are many aspects of you that exist. This is just one. Somehow your concentration is just here, and it's still not even here. Yeah, you have other aspects of you. Remember, we live in a world, parallel world, different dimensions. It only makes sense, matter and antimatter. It only makes sense. When you go to so-called sleep in the night, you go and meet the next aspect of yourself, another tentacle, and the other tentacles that exist. But the soul is the body of the octopus as such. That's real. You're a cosmic being. How you think you're just here talking and walking? Is a lot of electricity keeping you up. There's no regular thing. You're just there. It's a lot of electricity that can run out, and the gunk of flesh and thing just drop down. They have to go try put that away quick. Can you imagine that? So just understand that you're bigger than what you're looking at in the mirror. That's the point. That's very important. So the science of of ascending and descending and passing through portals. Anybody that still stuck on some kind of mad level, like, well, them things sound too weird. Man, just you being alive is too weird. Yeah, just being a cosmic being. Somehow, boy, that education system beat you real good. Eh? So that day, the 1st of November, if you notice, Halloween don't have nothing to do with the 1st of November. Halloween, when the sun come up, Halloween done, eh? Is the 31st of October, the night, not even the day. The night is like a moment of frantic vibes. Trick you out, give me some treat or we trick you, which we get into that quickly soon. So what really happened, the Roman church now, basically, like they couldn't fight it. This is what the history is trying to say. So they somewhat adapted the tradition of the Samhain from the Celtic people or the Celtic people in Boston Celtics, and kind of infused it into the saints. So saying somebody became Jack-o'-lantern, and saying somebody else, I guess, became whatever else, vibes that the Celtic people were keeping up. But hey, this is something that we as Black people were said to have done, even in Haiti. Not Haiti, because we don't hate it, but Haiti. Even in Haiti, it is said that we would have taken the the Orisha and the Loas and would have disguised them in Saint Raphael and Saint Peter and Saint Mariam and these different ones. And so when we were really in the Catholic Church, hailing Mary, we were really hailing Oshun. And some of our historians have taught us all of this. So basically, looking at this on another level here. Oh yeah, Jack O'Lantern. Jack O'Lantern, really. You were showing me something here, Princess. So you're saying that in Mexico, explain that, what you're saying here.
The Day of the Dead in Mexico actually explains that the Mexican people would honor the life of their ancestors.
This is the same day here, 1st of November?
No, I don't really have any information about it.
Oh, okay. But they used to keep up that tradition there, the Day of the Dead in Mexico. Okay, well, these are old Olmec people as well. They're known for the understanding of these different things. The pumpkin head look like an Olmec too. Now I check it out, But anyway, the whole energy is now that according to the history, it is that whole tradition was turned into All Saints Day. So when the Roman Church got hold of it, they turned it into the Day of the Saints. We're still on the first day. They deal with it on the 1st of November, All Saints Day. Now, it is said that this same All Saints Day, remember, this is all spiritual, as I said before, that you have other traditions that like the Sol Leviticus and other quote unquote pagan tradition. And that's another thing, pagan tradition. I know we like, some of us as Ras, we like to call people pagan too, but really, you know what a pagan is? According a pagan, really. Somebody was giving me a link with the pagan and linking it back to something African, but I can't explain that, so I can't explain another man thing. But for my research, a pagan is somebody that's not a Roman Catholic or not a member of the Roman Church. That's when that term came up. So you're not a member of this church. No matter what you are, you're a pagan. And that's really where that term really came about. So just anybody, so the pagan sound like a devil thing. But the origin of it, is really that, as far as what it meant. So once you're not a part of them, that's what you are. So they took several pagan traditions and infused it into their religion. That's a fact. So now it is said, with the Europeans coming to the Western world now, that whole tradition, even the literal trick or treat. In fact, historians said in the 1930s, hear this interesting time, in the 1930s, that the thing was so out of hand as far as people going into people's yard, removing their gates, leaving firecrackers under their welcome mat, and painting their chairs so when they come and they sit down, because all of that was a part of it. There was really this mischief making aspect of it on the day. So when you hear the children come and trick or treat, is really that. You know what I mean? We have some firecrackers in here. If you don't give us some candy, we just light it and throw it in your living room. Trick or treat. But somehow it has been commercialized like almost everything else. All them ancient holidays, them people know what to do with them. They make some big money off of them. Hey, Christmas don't even talk about him, Satan Claus. You understand? So with the Halloween now, like the jack-o'-lantern, the pumpkin head, the jack-o'-lantern. In the Caribbean, we have a thing we call jack-o'-lantern. But jack-o'-lantern means the man with the lantern, Jack with the lantern. And it is said now that he was the watchman of the city, but he was so wicked that not even Satan wanted him in hell. That's what the story said, not me. In fact, Satan banished him somewhere else. So he does be walking around at Halloween night, jack-o'-lantern, you know. And so we have heard a lot of stories. I would not have been born at that time, but in Antigua before they had all the electricity, and so you would hear my father talk about jack-o'-lantern, which is some light that they would see moving around, and I mean, if you get too close, sometimes children never come back and all kind of things. But you hear a lot of old people talk these stories, and real thing. So they say when you see the light, because there was not a lot of electricity around at that time. So when you see the light and you see it in the bushes and all these different things, you better go home because it's a tempting light. It can lure you in, jack-o'-lantern, but you do not see it that much today. It's not that prevalent because there's a lot of electricity around, street lights, whatever the case is. So that's what they would say. I don't think I would have witnessed a jack-o'-lantern, as we call it, which is the same jack-o'-lantern, but of course, the Caribbean twang and the accent and the dialect that goes with it. I mean, I've seen mystic things for sure. I could tell you that without a doubt. But that specific experience, I would not have said that I've seen that. So what just in discussion, as you see where we are here, just a mild discussion of what's happening, just showing you that there is a link really as it relates to the spiritual aspect of this day. We don't celebrate no Halloween around here in the Caribbean. Well, one or two people trying the little thing. They've been trying it for a while, but it's definitely nothing that you don't sense no Halloween in the air. Nobody know about that really. But the old people know about All Souls Night. Again, more linked with November the 1st. But obviously it's the same energy because the earth is spinning. So the 31st of October is into November the 1st. So the All Souls Night seems to have been a tradition from some time before. The Romans took the Sain or the Samhain and turned it into the All Saints Day. Follow my history good, eh? And you could see even some authors and historians are saying, well, listen, man, the origin of this is not no dead thing, really, and coming and the dead, coming and living and the dead. No, but it was a spiritual thing. It was about the gods of the underground. That sounds heavy. That even sounds heavier than the dead. Yeah. So the point is that all around, follow me good, all around this time frame of the 1st of November, which again, we're not relying on the Gregorian calendar. as such, meaning that the 31st of October is not that different from the 1st of November. In fact, the night of the 31st of October, which is when Halloween is celebrated, not the morning, you know. They don't wake up in the morning and say, Happy Halloween Day. No. The sun got to go down. Then the goblins come out. And to show you it's pure demonism, it's done when the sun come up. Pardon. Why not carry it on into the day? Why are you running from the sun? Only amphibians and strange creatures run back under their rock when the sun coming up. So why are you running from the sun? Let's carry it into the day. Why not start it early? No, it's a night thing. It's a very short holiday. Doesn't last 24 hours. 7 hours max. Maybe 6. When you done midnight. Yeah. That is Halloween. Obviously, a high concentration of meditation on the dead, the skeleton, and the bloodsuckers, and Frankenstein, and who else? The so-called mummy.
Dracula.
Dracula, that's the bloodsucker. It's Thriller Night. So, but yet still, one of the key things I want to highlight here is that in all the explanations, and when you do more research, you will see this is the night. This is not just Jumbi night, eh? This is the night. And Jumbi comes, what's the king name? Zumbi. Zumbi from Africa. Eh? This is the night when souls, spirits, some say the dead, but the point is this is the night when there is a gate open. Sure. I'm telling you, man, this is the night when there is a gate open and souls pass through. Some historians refer to it as this is the night when the veil between life and death is its thinnest. You may be saying, wait, what am I getting so excited about? Well, I'm telling you. You understand? So there's a doorway. We're dealing with Stargate. And I'm telling you, the fact that Anu got his independence on that day, the 1st of November, is nothing to look over. You think they... And even if you show them, they ain't gonna get it. Yeah. But I'm not talking about no independence for Antigua. If we understand who Haile Selassie is, if we really come to grips, because what I'm saying is not I'm trying to prove the king, you know. The king done prove himself, that's for sure. And I would say, you know, with all humility, that there are those who have come also, and I would speak for myself, that have put down some tracks that prove, if you didn't get it first, we kind of tighten it up for you so you clearly understand the divinity of the king, the reality of the king. This is the cosmic king. This is the cosmic king, Haile Selassie the first. I don't know who can come with no other conversation, but when it comes to Haile Selassie the first, it is clear. I wouldn't even entertain nobody right now. It's so dread I be when it comes to the king. It is clear. I would send you to watch my videos if you want any long talking. And if you don't want to watch them, well, you don't want to learn. That's how I look at it personally. Sorry if I sound away, but that's how I feel, because it's Haile Selassie we're talking about. Yeah. The king got what would be considered the first major title in a string of titles to come on All Saints Day. He was not the king as yet. In fact, he was just liege, not just, but liege, which is a title for the young nobleman. So he didn't really get the titles, don't start stack up yet. The governorship don't start stack up yet. The title Ras was several years to come. The title Negus was even further away. Emperor was still in the distance. The first title the young Negus got was a title called Dideshma. And he got that title in 1905 when he was 13 years of age. For the Christ said when he was 13, as the scripture said, when he was fully 12, that I am gone about my father's work. Asa 13, Heru 13, and many other characters mythologically at the age of 13 became a man. And at the age of 13, he was given that title, the Deshama, the keeper of the door. Some translate it, the keeper of the gate. And he was given the title on the 1st of November, All Saints Day, All Souls Day. One of the key things about this day is that there's a gate. Now, me say so, man. You know, you could only blow this away if we were talking about some regular person. But the king ain't gonna align himself just so on this getaway. And I know there are those that are saying, this is my stuff. Well, it's all right. I don't mind that. At the time will come when I hope you remember it's my stuff for real, straight up. That the emperor, man, this day, the All Souls Day, Halloween, there is this gate that spirits come in and come out. Wow. Not just the Celtic people saying that. Even the old people around here are here with that talk. I just explained Brother Iral and us in Barbados and how he explained from, you know, his knowledge the same level. You know, that's why we go into all that talking, you know. I know sometimes we just talk long, but this is the shock of the hour, my brothers and sisters. This ain't no regular thing. This is not, give me a 10 minute and a 15 minutes. This is our time. We go hours when we want, to the rising sun to make the point. Trick or treat. There's spirits coming in and going out on that night. There's a gate open on that night. There's a door open on that night. So when the young emperor was given the title the Deshma, mystically, that first title was aligned with that night, with that day. But not only that, the title that he got was the keeper of the gate. Now, the gate is the key thing with this day. And if there is some, remember, the souls coming in and coming out. So there got to be some sort of order kept. And it doesn't mean that on that day he became that being to keep that gate, you know. I know you're getting there like, what were you trying? No, what I'm saying is that the spirit that dwells in that youth in 1905, that spirit without the title, that's the spirit that keeps the gate naturally, cosmically, eternally, even before he was born in 1892. That was just a sign to show you who really keep the lives of men in his hands. Straight up, the keeper of the gate. So no souls passing in, as the Muslim would say. No life is taken, as the Muslims would say. No life is taken unless it is the will of Allah. Straight up, that's what it is. You know, these little signs, we got to learn to read the signs. Of course, there are many listening that I will say, oh, ye of little faith. You know, disbelievers, like knock you some, knock you little evangelist vibes for the time. Ye disbelievers, yeah, it's up to you. But the reality is clear, because we already know the cosmicness of the king. And to align it now with this, because he keeps the souls of the living and the dead. And you could equate it as much as you want with, but he was born, remember he have a mother, and remember he have a father. No, that's not the Congress. I just explained with clarity that getting this title does not necessarily mean that at this time the young Tafari became the cosmic keeper of the gate where the souls run in and out on Halloween. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I want to be clear. And that's not what I said. What I said is the soul that dwells, that commands that flesh, is the soul. You don't need to crown it and give it no title. It's not 13 years old. It is the eternal soul that guides and guards and keeps the gate of souls that come in and come out of the life and death sphere. You better believe it. And all scriptures and prophecies have proven that. As one brethren said before a long time ago, and when he said it, I couldn't understand it. But I see it clear. He said, if Haile Selassie is not God, well, no God day. And when you take all this, the philosophizing and the prophecy and all them scriptures and just push them aside and just put the king, just his story on the table and watch it again, you still come to the same conclusion. You must accept the divinity of the emperor. Yeah. So give thanks. That's the keeper of the gate. And that is why the 2nd of November now, I think Brother Cypher was showing a link like that. I think it was him. The 2nd of November now, Haile Selassie was crowned in 1930. You know what I mean? In the 1930s, you know, it's the same time they're trying to put some sort of legislation around Halloween, eh? The 1930s, it was getting out of hand in the USA. But in 1930, the 2nd of November now, all of it is the same thing, because the 2nd is the 1st. Eh? Remember, All Souls Night is the 1st of November, you know. This is a mystic vibes. But then, I mean, when is the equinox? The 21st, 22nd, 23rd, all, you know, it's a season and it's a time, because the emperor and the empress were in prayer and fasting from the night before, the night of the 1st, from the night before. The emperor and the empress, we ain't dealing with 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and what time is it, you know? We're dealing with the energy and the frequency of the heavens, the sun, moon, stars, and planets, and planet Earth too. And then Menelik II, his coronation is the 3rd of November. I think it's 41 years prior to the coronation of Emperor Haile Selassie I. So you see all the days infused. It's not one day after the other. They're infused into each other because the 1st of November is infused. The night of the 1st is the beginning of the 2nd of November. It is infused. The night of the 31st of October is the beginning of the day known as the 1st of November. It is infused, and the 2nd of November into the 3rd of November, and the 2nd of November into the 1st of November. And you could see the alignment coming down there. You see the dash mark with the Menelik. It is infused. So that's a spiritual time. That time there, and Babylon capitalized on it. You don't know how it goes. That's a spiritual time. Some of our historians would tell you that all the gods were born on the 25th day of December and all of that, and you know the solstice and that, and the sun does turn around and return back north. It's a serious thing. They capitalize on that. Ho 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 and Merry Christmas. They know what they're doing. They capitalize on the spiritual time, moments, seasons. Interestingly, and many ones from the cosmic conscious sphere speak of experiences that they would have during this time frame. So we give thanks for the 90th anniversary as it relates to the coronation of Emperor Haile Selassie I and Empress Menen. 90 years. The time frame itself is very important, the 9 and the 0. So in 10 years, we will be celebrating the centenary or jubilee, that golden jubilee of the coronation of the god. Yeah, and the goddess Empress Menen. And this is why, you know, there is a link with our lecture on the 1st of November. You know, Rastafari and the woman. And of course, that is the eve, if you want to call it, of Empress Menen's coronation, because she was coronated with the king. So, I mean, we're going to be having a wonderful lecture, my brothers and sisters. I'm really looking forward. Remember, if you're not a member of the Shock of the Hour subscription team, for sure you can become a member of the subscription team. And once you become a subscriber, well, you don't even have to worry about coming into the lecture. But if not, remember the lecture is the 1st of November, 7 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time. The admission is only $20 United States currency. I'm sure you would have heard we did have a $10 special, but that time frame, we got to honor the time frame and whatever agreements that is made behind the scenes that you may not even know about. But for sure, you could definitely make your payments via the Cash App. And others were asking about if they could make other payments. Any payments you are making to the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge, it can be made by the Cash App, which is Atonra, ATONRA 2723, ATONRA 2723. And remember, if there's any problem whatsoever with the making of payments via such a medium, you could just contact us, priestisaac27@gmail.com. Definitely looking forward to seeing you for that lecture. It's going to be a very dynamic lecture, you know what I mean? Hey, listen, my brothers, even if you have a Empress, I know how it is. Don't be ashamed. You could give it as a gift. Them is valuable things here. Give it as a gift. You could buy the seat and send it to her, and she's sitting and watch it. And even if you could, you know, sitting together, whatever the case, I don't know exactly what's going on, but for sure, the level we'll be taking it, it's definitely going to be of that standard. Rastafari and the womb, man, you know, definitely. And of course, yes, let me remind you again that it is this Sunday now. This Sunday, we're talking about the 25th day of October. This is our astronomy and African heritage class. We're going to be having a blast. Hey, that rhymes, eh? We're going to be having a wonderful time. Hey, rhyming time. This is Sunday, the 25th day of October, 2023 p.m. in the afternoon. International Homeschool Program. Bring the children and come. You see Nefertiti there with all the little ones on her lap there. Yes, and the admission is the admission is free. Just come in. All you have to do is contact us though. You don't just come in, you gotta contact us at priestisaac27@gmail.com. And so we could at least have an idea of what's going on. Most ones that contact us right away, we don't even have to ask. They tell us who is coming in, their children, name, age, which is good to know. So hopefully we could be shouting out the children, not shout them out the way we get them talking. Yeah. We'll be blessing them up and letting them know that yeah, they're in the house with us. I hope we don't have a shy audience, because you may just come on screen and just participate in whatever we will be doing. But trust me, it's going to be a nice experience. It's something that you are going to be happy that you partook of. And remember again, 1st of November, looking forward to seeing you. Give thanks for your presence with us. As we say, if you know your Bible and you do not know your history, the knowledge of your Bible will become a mystery. And it takes some realize to realize the real lies that are amongst us. Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, I,
Jah,
Rastafari, blessed family, give thanks to love, Rastafari.